I'm Leisha.
I'm Jeannie.
And welcome to Good Morning Mimosa. Today we have a couple different things that we want to talk about. I guess what we'll just start off with is I was reading an article the other day, and it was about customer service and how we're lacking customer service. So, you know, I was thinking to myself, is customer service gone? Is it lost? Is it... My experience is that there isn't any because of the computers and technology and all that. So
you're hearing a lot of that. You're hearing a lot from. I know, like years ago, customer service went out the window. No, people feel like they don't have to give customer service anymore. It's like the businesses felt like they had the sense of entitlement instead of the customer, and the customer was basically having to. Bow down to the business, which is really strange. I thought it was, because I even found it myself when I'm dealing with businesses. I'm the customer, and when I'm dealing with somebody that's very rude on the other line, and they don't seem to care.
Right.
I don't know if it was the employees of these certain companies that just didn't. They didn't care about having the job. They didn't care about getting a job. They just.
Yeah, I mean the thing, like with me, I think with the kids, there's no hands-on.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's no confronting.
Exactly.
There's no speaking to people face to face. You know, everybody's just, honed up in their house like this. You know what I mean? And
that's what's doing it. The social media seems to be doing it because there's no person-to-person contact anymore. There's no face-to-face contact. I think that's coming back, though, because it seems that it's not working anymore. A lot of the businesses aren't doing so well because there's no longer any person-to-person, face-to-face prospecting, contact, sales.
Yeah, what does that have to say about
social
sales?
Media.
Yeah.
And then, and I think people started to see it when you start seeing on Facebook that businesses are actually, they have the actual gall to complain about customers on their Facebook pages. You know something's wrong.
Right. Yeah, they're afraid to talk to people. People are afraid to talk to people.
Yeah. So
and we're like, and this other generation, the older generation, we're not afraid to speak to people, and tell them, call them out. I'm afraid, like with my kids, it's like speak up, man up, say something. Do you know what I mean? If you see something, that, especially with the bombings and, you got to speak out.
As a customer, you mean?
I'm just talking about in general. Yeah, that's. I guess I'm getting off track.
Because
that's what I do. I get off track.
I just know that I know in the past couple of weeks I've seen on my Facebook page owners of these small businesses that are actually complaining. I mean, they're a paragraph full of, hey, if you're going to treat, and these are retail businesses, if you're going to treat my employees like crap the way you're doing it, don't come into my business, don't frequent my business. And it's like, are you kidding? I mean,
you mean they're actually saying that?
Yeah, and I know, obviously the customer is always has gone out the window.
What happened in that situation?
Well, then people responded and didn't like it. They didn't like it. So they started complaining about that one certain store that gave terrible customer service, and they ended up saying, well, we're not going to go back there anymore. Now, the owner of the business just lost a bunch of customers. What sense does that make? Do you really think you have a sense of entitlement where people are going to come in and frequent your business no matter what you say? I know of a situation.
No, I don't believe that.
I know of a situation that somebody was telling me there was a gym at the beach.
Right. In Delaware?
And he was using a piece of equipment. He was a customer at this gym. He was using a piece of equipment. And the owner came over and was training with I guess a buddy of his, and said to his customer, I need you to get off of that. I was using that. I'm the owner. Get off of my piece of equipment. I've been using that. And the customer Facebooked, and
right then and there.
Yeah, he Facebooked. I mean, that's what social media is.
So the kid had to get off the equipment so that
because the owner was using it.
Oh my God. What time was this?
Now the customer
during the day?
gets a monthly fee.
Oh my God.
So he of course Facebooked, and tagged a bunch of people.
Oh, because this is our
tagged
gym.
a bunch of members and said, "Can you believe that the owner, just kicked me off of the machine? I'm a customer."
Yeah, that's crazy.
The owner saw, and he tagged the actual gym.
Right.
The owner saw it, went up to him, and said, oh no, didn't go up to him, got his assistant to go up to him and told him he's kicked out of the gym for good. So kicked him out of the gym, ended his membership and everything.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. Where's the sense of entitlement with these businesses all of a sudden where you actually think that's money.
I know, it is.
That's money for your business. I mean, are you not caring about, the money, the revenue that you're bringing in for your business?
I'll give you an example. I went to a baby shower, and there were a bunch of, a lot of people were there, and the couple of, I guess they were probably in their mid-20s, maybe 22, 23. So their responsibility was to go around to each table and make sure everybody had drinks or had something to eat or, were being, fed and were happy. Well, these kids, I guess, never went around and asked anybody anything. They didn't. They thought they were, though. They thought that they were asking us, but they weren't. So what they were doing is looking at what we had on our plate and I watched this whole thing.
Oh.
I watched the whole thing. It's almost like they just didn't know any better. They just didn't know any better.
So they weren't asking you. They were just looking to
They were just looking.
So in their eyes, you were satisfied.
Yes.
In your eyes, you weren't.
Well, no, because I had to say, excuse me, could you come over? I need a drink. Talk sign language.
Right.
And even the girl that had the baby shower, even though they were having the baby shower for this girl, she needed something to drink, and they didn't even ask her.
Now, what did the group as a whole? How did they
she
feel
needs a
about
drink.
that? The group as a whole. I mean, because this is where
I
it
didn't
starts.
say anything.
But you have to wonder: was everybody complaining? Was it because everybody seems to today? Today, it seems like everybody wants to. They don't want to complain, and I understand wanting to be positive.
I know. Good, you got it. But you have to. There comes a point where there's a line. You know what I mean? And to me, I would. And the girl that had the shower, actually, that was having it, she said something. Okay, because she's older. She's like, make sure that everybody is fed and everybody has a drink or whatever.
Well, somebody has to speak.
And they're like, we are. They're like this. We are. And I didn't say anything. I was just like, oh my God, no, you're not.
That's how they answered her?
Yeah, they said we are. They were very nice.
Right.
But they,
Yeah, they weren't.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, we think that customer service is gone.
But I think
it's all about the
we're
phones.
working on getting it back. And I'm noticing
Right.
it a lot more. Businesses are paying much more attention. But anyway, we're going to cut for a break, and we will be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Mimosa. I'm Leisha.
I'm Jeannie.
And we were discussing sexting. No, I'm only kidding. Texting. Well, this is where we're at today in this country. This is what these kids are doing. And we were talking about how my girlfriend's family, our son's family friend, whatever, found a naked picture of her son. Naked picture of a girl on her son's phone. So that was kind of awkward because she found it and saw this girl naked on the phone and freaked out.
How old is he?
14.
Oh God.
So what do you do? Okay, you got to call. Who was that girl? And she wasn't even in their circle. She was somebody on Facebook that they were, because they're friends.
Oh, so the girl was, that normally is how it is.
Yeah, because they're friends with like 1,000 kids.
Right.
Yeah,
well imagine if she did know the girl, that would be even worse.
No, she didn't, thank God.
Right.
But she did find the girl's name and call the mother.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that she did the right thing by doing that?
The only thing you can do, I'm trying to, what would I do? I don't know. I would just say, delete it. I would think the right.
That to your son, and would you have a conversation with your son? Because
yeah,
now
definitely.
I would definitely get a hold.
He'd be like, "Ooh, baby."
I would definitely get a hold of the girl's mother, and I would send the mother the picture and say, "Take this."
Yeah, I think that's what she did.
Right.
Yeah.
But But her son probably did not want her to do that. You're going to embarrass me.
Oh,
Everybody's
right.
doing it, Mom.
Yeah, that
it's
age
okay.
is,
blah,
the
blah,
age
blah.
is weird.
So you know you're embarrassing your son by doing it.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, what she did was the right thing, I think. But there's a lot of parents out there that won't do that. They wouldn't do that. They just kind of stay out of it, especially when it comes to boys, because boys will be boys.
That
Girls are
age
gonna
is
send
weird.
Pictures like that, and it just seems to be so
Yeah.
much more okay today than ever before.
Right.
Because we're getting desensitized by everything that's going on today with these kids.
Yeah.
When you go back to when we were kids, there's absolutely no way, anything like that happened. When
Right,
I was
right.
younger, there was Playboy magazine, and that was about the extent of it. My friends'
Right,
dad would have
magazine.
that, and it was like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
Now it's all over the place. Like I was saying, on my Facebook page, I noticed a couple weeks ago, there was actually a picture of a topless girl on my Facebook page. She was topless.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was allowed.
It's
And,
gross. On your wall.
On my wall.
Like as if
And
you
I'm
put
not
it
on
there.
I'm
Was it
not
like
on
you
my
put it
wall
there?
all the time. Okay, so how many people came in? How
sorry.
many people were looking at my wall and they saw that and thought, oh, and I'm not a part of
Well,
that. She's not even a friend of mine. So
Yeah.
And I think
But didn't you say that there was a group of guys that that were telling you that they saw advertisements that you were advertising?
Oh my gosh! Oh my
something
gosh.
on Facebook?
Yes.
Or did we say that on
Apparently, Facebook took one of my pictures or a couple of my pictures. I have no idea. And I was talking to some, a couple guys that I play music with, and they were saying that they saw my picture.
On their wall.
Yeah, they saw my picture. And I was advertising, different things. And they're like, so you're advertising this, so you're in this business now, and you're doing that business. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, somebody's using your face.
They were they were using my pictures, and then
Your beautiful
I
face.
received an email. I received an email from an attorney that was representing members of Facebook, and it's asking me to. They said that I was a part of this
settlement.
big, huge advertisement thing that they were, apparently stealing pictures and using various people in order to do advertising. So anyway. And I don't have any nasty pictures on my Facebook
Right.
wall, but if I did, that wouldn't be too good. Stop. So anyway, we were going from the texting to the drunk texting. We were
Yeah,
talking
the
about
drunk.
that before,
Oh, yeah,
too.
that's right. Yeah, we were drunk. Yeah.
So anyway, with that aside, there's the statistics are saying that adults now are doing a lot of drunk texting, and with the drunk texting,
Right.
they're doing a lot of sexting, and they're seeing and they're saying that it's mostly men now that are doing
Right.
the sexting.
Right.
So it's now the men that are flashing themselves.
So Jeannie got a sext the other night. Let's just get into it.
Sexting, you mean?
I'm married. She's
sexting.
single.
But
She got a sexting picture. We're going to show
no,
you.
I didn't.
We're going to show everybody.
I did get a drunk text, but not a sexting. But anyway, men now are flashing, taking pictures. I guess maybe they're proud.
Oh, it's
I
everywhere.
don't know, but they're sending
It's
that
everywhere.
out, and they're noticing that.
Yeah.
And
It's a crazy world.
But the thing is the pictures are sometimes going to the wrong people.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, unless Mark sends me one. So Mark sent me.
I've never received one.
What was it?
Don't send me one.
Was it? I'll put her phone number on it.
Oh God.
Then
Right.
So was it 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning or?
No, it was like midnight.
Oh, it was midnight.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
baby.
No, that was a drunk
Hey, baby,
text.
what are you doing?
That was a drunk text, but the good thing, it was on friendly terms, which is always good. But the thing that scares me is when you're texting somebody drunk and you're mad at them.
Yeah, that's what
It becomes a problem
Uh-huh.
because, drunk texting, you're having an issue, you're in a fight, you're texting, and of course you're saying more than you would ever say before to somebody because, you're mad.
Right,
and,
right.
And I know with the iPhone, I know that when you're texting and you're mad at somebody and you're just going off and you're typing away and then somebody else texts you, that text will go to that person instead of the person it's meant for.
Well, yeah, when you're doing this, yeah,
Right.
because you just want to get your point
And
across.
sometimes it could be that person's family member, and I'm sure that everybody that has an iPhone or whatever, these
Yes.
smartphones that they have,
It'll go to somebody
I'm sure
else.
that you've experienced that. I wanted to get rid of my iPhone because of it, because I can't tell you how many times I have
But so do you follow up with that and go, oopsie?
oh yeah, you have to. But
Wrong
when it's
person.
that person's family member or
Oopsie.
whatever, now there's an issue.
Now there's a
Or if
problem.
I'm
Because
yelling
that
at my
person
daughter
knows you have
and
a
my
problem
son
with
gets it, and he's like, "What?"
Now there's, everybody's arguing,
Right.
right, at this point?
Right.
All right, so let's get a
gonna-
break. Time for a break.
Right. Okay, so we will cut for a break right now. We'll be right back.
See you in a bit. Welcome back to Good Morning Mimosa. I'm Leisha.
I'm Jeannie.
So we went from a happy subject to a sad subject. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what happened this week. Yeah,
This is a sad subject.
this is we're going to talk a little bit about the bombings this
In
week
Boston, yeah.
in Boston and what happened. I mean, it's a part of life. It happened. This is where we're at today, and it's sad to say. I have so many different opinions on it. I don't even know where to begin.
Right. Yeah.
But you wanted to talk about this boy, the boy.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the social media, a social media site came out and said that this boy Sunil Tripathi, I think that's how you pronounce his name,
Tripathi,
was linked to the bombing, and he wasn't. So it was.
Somebody
it was
just threw that out
erroneously-
there, right?
It was erroneously reported on a popular social media site, and
So somebody just blogged? I mean, just threw it out there?
Yeah, they just put it out there, and that's all you really have to do. And and now they just pulled his body out of the water in Rhode Island.
Yeah,
So
it
he was
on-
missing for a while,
Yeah.
and then they found him. And I mean, to me, that is so sad because, well, to me,
Who
to
reported
everybody,
that?
that's so sad.
Who?
I don't know. I do know the president of the company, apologized, publicly apologized. But I mean,
Oh my.
if you shouldn't report stuff like that. That just goes to show you what the media will do.
Right.
He probably thought he had a link to something. He wanted to be the first one out there, just like the media was crazy that day.
Well, yeah, also they reported something and the stock market went crazy because somebody reported that somebody was going after Obama in the White House. Did you see that the other day? And they reported something negligent or whatever, and all they did is blog. They just threw a blog out.
Right.
And everything's computerized now. You know what I mean?
So it goes to everybody.
It goes to everybody.
Yeah, right.
It picked it up, and Wall Street.
It's the
Literally,
sales
the
cloud
stocks,
and
the stocks went
it goes
down
to
and-
everybody like that. It goes to all the
It
social
just
media sites.
press a button.
Right, with one button.
And that goes back to computerized and tech.
But it just seems like the media wants to be the first one to report it. And
Sure.
so here
They'll say anything. You don't
So-
know what story's right.
and it doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't
It's
care
crazy.
if they're throwing you under the bus. They don't care if they're threatening your life. They don't care. As long as they're the first ones out there to report it, as long as it's dirty laundry and they know they're going to get your attention, they're going to put it on the air, they're going to report it, they're going to blog about it, whatever. And now an innocent victim has died because of it, because this one guy thought he would put that
Right,
out there.
right.
And,
Sad.
I mean, obviously maybe this guy had enemies, maybe he had friends, whatever.
Right.
But it just takes, one person to find out about that, some sicko, and next thing you know, his entire family is devastated because he
Right.
had nothing to do with it. From what they're reporting now, he had nothing to do with it. He was not linked to this at all.
Right.
Well,
sometimes in the morning on the way to work, I listen to. Sometimes now, I can only take so much of this guy because he'll have you in a loony bin in the mental institution. This guy will. Glen Beck. I don't know if you guys ever listen to him. He is,
rarely.
He. Do you listen to him or no?
I
have to turn him sometimes. He
listened to
gets
him
crazy.
yesterday only because he was coming. He was threatening the government. With
He was?
information he said that
Yes,
he
Sarah.
had, and if you don't come clean, I'm going to, publicize this information that I have.
Oh my! And what
So-
was it?
He
Did he?
Well, it's the same information that everybody basically knows that you're hearing on the media right now, that the FBI knew about the
Oh,
bombings.
right.
So he had more detailed information, and he's getting his information from somebody, or
Right.
wherever he's getting his information. That's basically all he really said is what the media is saying.
Well, he
But
wants
that's not what
listeners too. Yeah.
I mean,
He's gonna say something to keep listeners going.
right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
as long as he can keep you listening,
Right.
But a lot of the stuff that he says comes out to be true, which is kind of
Sometimes,
freaky
yeah. Mm-hmm.
to me. Because I don't listen to him all the time because he'll have literally I'll drive my car to the mental institution
Yeah.
and check in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well,
so I have to
that's-
turn him off because
That's
he's
his
crazy.
box, though. He's probably so involved in,
Yeah. Well, that
all
those
of
other
this.
guys are too, though.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's hearing that, the FBI knew about it, and, I mean, that's kind of scary if you think about it, and, but nobody knows. Nobody really knows anything. We're not going to know anything until they talk to the one
Yeah.
surviving bomber.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of, the fact that they knew they interviewed the first bomber, the one that died in 2010 is, I would, what is the story behind that? If you interviewed him in 2010, why is he in this country? If they
Yeah,
had
I
some
think
sort of fear that
falls through the cracks.
he was a terrorist.
He fell through the cracks.
Yeah, and now, look what happened. So,
I know.
and that's really, it's sad, and our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families in Boston.
Yeah, it's going to keep
that
going.
suffer.
It's not, it's something that's going to continue on for another, well, it's till this presidency's over, and, we'll see.
Right.
I don't know. But we're going to take a break, and we're going to end the show. So thank you for watching. I'm
Thank you.
Leisha.
And I'm Jeannie. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.